Welcome all of you. Here we are going to discuss about the concept of elasticity. When a force is acts on an object, it deforms. There are two types of deformation. One is elastic and another one is plastic. What is elastic and plastic deformation? What is elastic and plastic deformation? Deformation means change in shape or size of the body. Force which deforms the body is the deforming force. Elastic deformation. Elastic deformation is the case of deformation where the body regains its original shape when the deforming force is removed. What really happens here is that in the state of deformation, there is a restoring force which acts inside the body resisting the deformation. Which resists the deformation. Yes, there is a restoring force. When the body is in equilibrium, the restoring force is equal in magnitude to the deforming force which acts in an opposite direction. As soon as the, the deforming force is removed, this restoring force comes into play and restores the body to its original shape. Plastic deformation. On the other hand, a deformation that permanently changes the shape of the body. The applied force here is too much for the body to bear that results in permanent deformation. Which objects shows elastic and plastic deformation? Generally, all the objects shows both elastic and plastic deformation. For instance, when a string is extended, there will be a limit, elastic limit, beyond which the spring loses its elasticity nature and end up with breaking. For object, there is a elastic deformation to certain extent, beyond which plastic deformation take place. Generally, all objects shows both elastic and deformation and plastic deformation. Elastic limit of a body depends on deforming force acts on the body and the properties of the material they are made up of. Now we can going to discuss about extremely important topic about Hooke's law. Robert Hooke stated that empirical law in 1660s. Here, empirical means the law which derives from experimental observations. It states that for elastic deformation in a spring, the deforming force directly proportional to change in length. Consider a spring of length L fixed at one end and applying load at the other end. When there is a force acts on a spring which deforms the body. Let change in length of the spring be delta L. Hooke's law states that the deforming force is directly proportional to change in length. Here K is called proportionality constant or spring constant. Hooke's law also defined as a restoring force for elastic deformation in a spring. A restoring force is directly proportional to change in length. Here negative sign indicates that the restoring force acts in a direction opposite to the direction of length variation. This law valid not only for elastic deformation in a spring, also valid for elastic deformation in any material. This law valid only for relatively small deforming forces. There is a modified version of this Hooke's law. It says for an inelastic deformation, stress is directly proportional to strain. Thank you.